Oh, I think that's a very negative thing to say. Are you serious?
Just my observation.
Okay. Well, you should have been out there. That wasn't very kind. You should apologize.
Serena Williams has been through challenges that most people could never imagine. She has won on the biggest stages, broken records, and become a symbol of strength for millions. But the news that brought her husband, Alexis Ohanian, to tears was not about tennis. It was not about competition. It was about life, love, and fear. A diagnosis changed everything for them. What began as a simple concern quickly became a personal nightmare. This is their story, from the spotlight of fame to the dark rooms of uncertainty, and how they faced it together. Serena Williams was born on September 26, 1981, in Saginaw, Michigan. When she was just a baby, her family moved to Compton, California. The city was rough, filled with danger and limited opportunities. But on those broken-down tennis courts, a legend was born. Serena and her older sister, Venus, trained every single day under the hot sun. Their father, Richard Williams, had a dream. He believed his daughters could become the best tennis players in the world, even though he had never played the game himself. He studied tapes, read books, and created a 78-page plan to guide them to success. Their mother, Oracine Price, was just as dedicated. She helped coach them and kept the family grounded with love and stability. Richard did not want his daughters exposed to the pressure of early fame. That is why Serena and Venus played fewer junior tournaments. They practiced harder instead. When Serena turned professional at age 14, people already knew she was special. She moved fast, hit hard, and played with a fire that few could match. Her breakthrough came at 17, when she won the U.S. Open in 1999, defeating top players like Martina Hingis. That victory launched a career filled with moments the world will never forget. Serena's style was bold, fearless, and intense. Her serve could overwhelm opponents. Her footwork and strategy often left rivals struggling. Over time, she became a player who dominated not just a season, but an entire era. She won 23 Grand Slam singles titles, the most in the Open era, and only one shy of Margaret Court's all-time record. She claimed championships at the Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open. She won multiple titles on each surface, proving she could adapt to any condition and beat anyone, anywhere. She also earned 4 Olympic gold medals. 3 came from doubles with Venus. 1 came in singles. The Williams sisters were nearly unbeatable as a team, winning on the biggest international stage. Serena's ability to compete at the highest level for over 2 decades made her unique. She remained strong and focused, even after injuries, setbacks, and long breaks. She came back after becoming a mother and still fought for titles. Very few athletes in any sport have done what she did, but her legacy is bigger than trophies. Serena became a symbol for power, confidence, and hope. She changed tennis by showing that black women belonged at the top. Her hairstyles, her fashion, her attitude, and her voice were bold and unapologetic. She spoke about racism, sexism, and body image with honesty. She stood up for those who had been ignored or pushed aside. Serena inspired young girls everywhere to believe in themselves and never back down. While Serena's tennis career was filled with noise and cheers, her love story began quietly. In 2015, she met Alexis Ohanian at a hotel in Rome. She was preparing for a tournament. He was there for business. One morning, they ended up sitting at the same outdoor table for breakfast. At first, there were no words. But then, a conversation started. That small talk turned into a deep connection. They came from different worlds, but found common ground in laughter, curiosity, and kindness. Alexis was not part of the sports world. He was a tech visionary, the co-founder of Reddit, one of the largest online communities in the world. He had helped build something powerful and stayed involved in tech as an investor and advisor. Though he knew little about tennis, he was eager to learn. After meeting Serena, he became one of her biggest fans. Their love grew quickly. Alexis proposed to her in 2016, back at the same hotel in Rome. By April 2017, Serena announced she was pregnant. Later that year, in September, she gave birth to their daughter, Olympia. 2 months later, they married in New Orleans. The wedding was magical. Friends like Beyoncé, Kim Kardashian, and Anna Wintour attended. The theme was Beauty and the Beast. There were candlelit halls, elegant gowns, and a carousel. But what people remember most was the love in their eyes. Even after their marriage, Serena and Alexis kept their bond strong. Alexis often spoke about how amazed he was by Serena's strength and grace. He helped raise Olympia, cheered for Serena during her matches, and supported her through every challenge. Their marriage became an example of what it means to be partners in every sense. They talked about their goals, leaned on each other during hard times, and celebrated even the small victories. Serena's tennis career was filled with unforgettable victories, but behind the scenes, there was pain, physical pain, mental exhaustion, emotional stress. She suffered knee injuries, back spasms, shoulder strain, and many other physical problems. Some days she woke up barely able to move, yet still stepped onto the court. She went through surgeries, therapy sessions, and sleepless nights. The pressure never left. She was always expected to win, always expected to be strong. In interviews, Serena began speaking openly about her struggles. She admitted that being in the spotlight came with a heavy burden. She felt tired. She felt overwhelmed. Her openness changed the conversation in sports. Athletes began to speak up more about mental health, about depression, and about the need for emotional healing. Serena's honesty gave others the courage to share their stories. The most terrifying moment of Serena's life did not happen during a match. It happened in a hospital room in 2017. After delivering Olympia through an emergency C-section, she began struggling to breathe. Serena had a history of blood clots in her lungs. She knew the signs. She asked for help, for a CT scan and a blood thinner, but the hospital staff did not take her seriously at first. They thought her pain was normal, but Serena refused to stay silent. When the scan was finally done, it revealed blood clots in her lungs. Emergency treatment followed. Then came more pain. Her incision reopened due to intense coughing. She underwent more surgeries and spent 6 weeks in bed. Her recovery was long and painful. Instead of bonding with her baby, she was fighting to stay alive. The experience deeply changed her. It also opened her eyes to a disturbing reality. In the United States, Black women are nearly 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women. Serena realized that if she could be ignored, despite her fame and wealth, then other women were in even greater danger. She began to speak out about maternal health. She wrote articles, gave interviews, and used her voice to push for change. She urged doctors to listen to women. She encouraged mothers to speak up when something felt wrong. Her pain became a source of purpose. After surviving childbirth complications, Serena faced another health scare. One day, she noticed a lump near her neck. It was small but worrying. Her mind raced. Was it cancer? Was it something dangerous? She got it checked. It turned out to be a benign branchial cleft cyst. These cysts form from tissue that does not develop properly during early life. While not usually dangerous, they can cause discomfort or infection. Still, the experience shook her. It reminded her how fragile life can be. Serena spoke openly about the fear she felt. She told people to never ignore signs from their bodies. She reminded them to trust their instincts and see a doctor when something feels off. By sharing her story, she brought attention to a condition many had never heard of. She used her platform to educate and comfort others. While Serena had faced life-threatening moments, it was Alexis's turn to suffer. He began feeling tired all the time. His body ached. His mind felt cloudy. At first, he thought it was stress. He was juggling work, fatherhood, and public life. But the symptoms continued. Eventually, doctors ran tests. The diagnosis came back. Alexis had Lyme disease. Lyme disease comes from a tick bite. It causes fatigue, fever, joint pain, and sometimes a rash. For many, the illness can last for years. Alexis began treatment with antibiotics, but recovery was slow. He felt frustrated, weak, and unlike himself. For someone so driven, slowing down was hard. He had to step back from work, cancel meetings, and spend more time resting. Serena became his rock. She had been the patient before. Now she was the caregiver. She supported him every day. She listened, she comforted, she reminded him to be patient with his body. Their love deepened. They were no longer just partners. They were survivors. Together, they faced the unknown. Alexis chose to speak about his illness. He described how it made him feel disconnected and tired. He said it affected his focus, his memory, and even his confidence. He wanted others with Lyme disease to know they were not alone. His honesty touched many. In 2022, Serena announced her retirement from professional tennis. It was a moment filled with emotion. For more than 20 years, she had been a warrior on the court, but she was ready to move on. She called it a transition, not an end. Serena wanted to focus on her family, her passions, and her new goals. She launched Serena Ventures, a firm that invests in startups led by women and people of color. She wanted to give chances to people who were often ignored by traditional investors. She backed businesses in education, health, and technology. Her goal was not just to make money, but to make a difference. Serena also explored fashion. She had always loved bold looks. Now she designed them. Her clothing line reflected her spirit. Confidence, strong, unique. She used fashion to connect with fans and express herself in a new way. Her work in charity also continued. She supported schools, healthcare programs, and efforts for racial justice. She donated her time, her money, and her heart. Serena Williams and Alexis Ohanian have lived through moments of joy and pain. They have stood beside each other through fear, sickness, and success. Their story is not just about fame. It is about what it means to fight for love, for life, and for each other. They are proof that real strength is not just about what you overcome alone. It is also about who stands with you when everything falls apart. If their story inspired you, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real-life stories that matter.